Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of December 5th. On Monday night, the city held its annual Truth in Taxation public hearing on the 2023 property tax levy and general fund budget. After a staff presentation, input from the public, and a good discussion by the council, the City Council ultimately approved a general fund budget of just over $94 million and a property tax levy increase of 9.15%. The Truth in Taxation hearing is a hearing that's held every year to give members of the public an opportunity to provide direct feedback to the City Council on the proposed tax levy and budget. I appreciate the 4 residents who came forward to speak this year, and I really appreciate the feedback that the council and staff have received since we started this budget process 8 months ago. Since May, we've talked about the budget at 8 different council meetings. Staff has been out and about in the community 7 different times, directly engaging with residents to get their ideas about the budget. I and 4 of my council colleagues have hosted town hall forums in the community where the budget was a big topic of discussion. And information collected as part of the National Community Survey also addressed budget-related topics. And that's not even counting the one-on-one interactions that I know we've all had at community events, through phone calls and emails, and when out knocking on doors. In short, based on all of that feedback, the community engagement and the interaction, and the thoughtful discussion by the council, I am very confident that our 2023 budget reflects the priorities of this community and sets us on a solid path moving forward. Time and again, we heard that public safety was of the utmost importance, and this budget reflects that. The 2023 budget includes 3 new full-time firefighters that will be hired halfway through the year, and they will go along with the 18 firefighters that will be added early in 2023 thanks to the federal SAFER grant the city received. On the police side, we'll be adding 2 new officer positions in January, and in June, we'll add 2 more, along with a new dispatch training coordinator. Those hires, along with the debt service associated with the construction of the new fire station number 4, means that 85% of the property tax increase in this budget is directly related to public safety. More numbers for you. More than 42% of all of the general fund expenditures in Bloomington go to police and fire. If you throw in public works, plowing the streets, keeping the roads in good shape, making sure the water tastes great, that number increases to 64% of our general fund expenditures. So roughly 2/3 of our city budget goes to the nuts and bolts of municipal services: police, fire, and public works. I've said before, and I will say it again, without question, these annual budget discussions are the most important discussions we have as a city. I know that a 9.15% levy increase is significant. I know that inflation is eating up wage increases and the cost of everything seems to keep going up. And I also know that the council and the city staff take very seriously the responsibility we have regarding taxing decisions and how your money is spent. Bloomington is the community it is today because for decades, city leaders and residents understood the vital importance of investing in this community. The same holds true today. We invest in our priorities, and we will continue to do so to make Bloomington an enduring and remarkable community where people want to be. Last week, the City Council approved a number of land use applications that set the stage for a long overdue redevelopment project at the corner of 90th Street and Penn Avenue. Plans are in place for the owners of Gyropolis to build a 2,000 square foot expansion onto their existing restaurant. It would add 74 seats and an outdoor patio. Gyropolis has been a fixture in Bloomington for more than 15 years. They're a great part of the Bloomington business community, and I'm so glad to see their expansion plans. And as a huge added benefit, the project will remove an existing vacant service station that has been an eyesore at that corner for more than a decade. You all know which one I'm talking about. It will certainly beautify that corner and make the area a lot more appealing and welcoming than it currently is. This week, the City Council approved a tax increment financing, or TIF, assistance package for the project to help cover some of the extraordinary costs related to the redevelopment, including the site acquisition, development and some redevelopment costs, and related administrative expenses. In addition to helping finance the project through TIF, Bloomington staff played a big role in helping Gyropolis get a grant from DEED that helped with the cost of buying the gas station site. Staff has worked with Gyropolis each step of the way and will obviously continue to help out as they are able. The Bloomington HRA board will vote on the proposal at their next meeting, and the bottom line is that I and a lot of other people are very excited about this project. Some people have asked, Why has it taken so long to redevelop that corner? And it's a good question. About 15 years ago, the state of Minnesota significantly restricted the ability of cities to encourage redevelopment by using the power of eminent domain. One of the consequences of that law was that cities couldn't force owners of blighted properties like the abandoned gas station to the table to negotiate these types of projects that improve the community. So we've had to wait until the property owners were able to come together. I'm very glad that's finally happened, for all of us. Finally today, because of the Thanksgiving holiday and my being out of town, we haven't had a chance to talk about the senseless and cold-blooded killing last month at the Coteau restaurant. I want to offer my condolences to the victim's family and friends and offer wishes of a speedy recovery to the server who was injured in the shooting. To the owners and employees at Coteau, I hope you know that Bloomington stands with you and wish you all the best. And a heartfelt thank you to the members of the Bloomington Police Department who responded to the incident and who did an outstanding job investigating the crime. To go from a shooting to the arrest of a suspect 4 states away in little more than 12 hours is fantastic police work. Thank you so very much for your work. This was the first murder of the year here in Bloomington, after only one last year as well, but even one is too many. It's important to note that both the shooter and the deceased victim were not Bloomington residents, and every indication is that this was not a random act of violence. Bloomington is a safe city, and through the great work of our police department and their commitment to a community that does not tolerate, condone, or excuse crime of any kind, it will continue to be a safe city. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Thanks very much for tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.